Hello everyone, my name's Mike Turner. I'm going to be doing a series of tutorial videos that will help you understand a few of the basics and hopefully teach you a little bit more of the more intricate details of how to use the Enlighten stage lighting controller or software by Megalight. So anyhow, I'm going to jump right in, guys. So first things first, when you download your software for the first time, there's going to be a demo show preloaded. Don't even worry about it. I wouldn't even mess with it. It's going to confuse you more than anything else. I would simply go ahead and start from scratch. You would do so by going up here to selecting New and then following the prompts. Essentially what it's going to do is say, do you really want to clear this show? You say yes, and then you essentially create a file that's going to be stored on your C drive or wherever you want on the computer, where it will start storing all the configurations and scenes and everything else that you save. So anyhow, I've got a clean slate here. So just to kind of identify some of the areas, we are currently in the playback screen. Since we're just getting started, I don't have any shows. Over here you will find the programming mode, and this is where you will be accessing the fixtures that you've patched in and controlling the various attributes of the lights, both in the programming and in the playback settings. So anyhow, so let's get started. So it doesn't matter whether you're in playback or programming mode, you would still click on patch and then load patch new fixture. It brings up this window where you would actually start loading in the attributes if you were creating a fixture, which I'll go into detail later on, or where you can select from the fixture library that comes within the software that gets updates all the time. So I'm going to select the manufacturer here. I'm just going to go with something real simple, an American DJ fixture, and I'm just going to do the, let's see here, we'll do the flat par. Where are we? We'll do the flat par try 7, just for the sake of doing it, okay? So in this screen here, you will see it already knows the channel configurations for the lights, so I don't have to worry about remembering what channel 1 is or anything like that. So I'm going to go ahead and select that. Over here, it's showing my DMX universe, and obviously right now it's empty, so we don't have any lights, so my starting address would be 1, but I can change that to anything if I wanted. So for instance, if I went here, it would start wherever I click. So for the sake of starting, I'm just going to go on 1. So I'm going to load in 6 fixtures for the sake of our demo. I then click down here that says load patch fixtures. This little pop-up asks you if you want the system to auto-create groups, which will just make it easier later on down the line if you have multiple lights and you don't want to have to try to select them all at the same time. It's more of a time-saving process than anything. So I'm going to go ahead and click yes. The next thing it does is tell me, hey, they've been loaded. So we now select the program mode, and you'll see the 6 fixtures. So I'm going to also load in 2 more just to try to give us a little bit more of an info here. So I'm going to now go to a Chauvet fixture. I'm going to select the Intimidator Spot 350. Again, it shows all the attributes of the light here. I'm going to load in 2 of them. And please note that because as we're adding lights, it already tells me what channels have already been absorbed and no channels have been wasted. So I'm going to go ahead and select yes, create my group, good to go. So here are my fixtures. So what I'm going to do is kind of give you guys a little bit of insight. Later on down the line, you will see me using a 3D visualizer. That 3D visualizer is meant to just be a reference so that you can actually create shows when you don't actually have the computer hooked up to the lights. It's very, very useful. But one thing that makes the visualizer a little bit more realistic is if you arrange the lights in this screen to a manner that's somewhat similar to how they would be on your stage or at your show. So for instance, for our scenario here, since these are LED par cans, I'm going to say there's 4 on the back wall and then 1 on the sides of each stage. So I'm just going to move this down here, move this down here. And again, these are my moving head fixtures, so I'll move them up more like that and more like that. So this would be similar to an actual stage. Okay, so now our fixtures have been patched. Congratulations. Now I'm going to show you how to create a sequence. And a sequence is just a lighting term for a scene. It could be static, it could be moving, it could be anything, but it's basically a scene, for lack of better words. So a couple ways that you could select the fixtures here. I can individually select them. right? And control them individually, or I can select them over here by going to groups, and you'll see that it added in several different types of groups for me from the previous little demos that I've done. Or something that's, in my opinion, a little bit more simplistic, I will simply hold down the Shift key and then select the lights that I want to talk to. So here, 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 and here. So you'll notice that these are selected because they became red. The next thing that you will do, and you're going to do this very, very, very often, is you will click Initialize. And to show you what Initialize does, I'm going to click on the Faders tab over here. It essentially brings my dimmer to 255, which is 100% basically. So anything I do to the lights right now would be live. So you could control the lights here by moving the faders electronically. So you could actually click here, or you can just put your cursor over it and roll up with the ball on your mouse if you have that feature, so on and so forth. Or if you knew the value you wanted, you just simply click where the numerics are, and if you know the color you want is value 178, you literally just type in 178 and then click OK, and it would do that. So that's how that works. So that's one way to do it. But the real benefit of this software is really all these little tabs that you see up here that really break apart the attributes of the lights to really simplify it for you and make it real easy. So this is a color changing RGB fixture, so I'm just going to select color. And you'll see here it's got some of the macros that are built within the light, and then I could also select anywhere in here. I tend to click this, so I get some more broken down options. So you'll notice that if I click red, the lights give you an indication that they've all went to red. If I go to blue, they're all going to blue. If I do a cyan, so on and so forth. And again, you could click here to get various color options. If I drag this around, if you notice on the right hand side, my lights are changing color by where I do this. So for the sake of our scene, I'm just going to click on blue. Okay, so now my lights are all blue. I'm going to, since I like this particular attribute, I'm going to Save Changes as button. This is going to pop up. So first thing I'm going to do is give it a name. I'm going to call it Blue LED Pars. Okay. Over here, you can add in a fade in or fade out time when you click on the sequence in the next screen. So for instance, I'm not going to do it yet, but I will show you how to use it in a moment here. So I'm going to save, and you will see now that I have this button. When I click on it, it turns on. When I deselect it, it turns off. If I want it to have a fade in, I right click on it, adjust fade in and out times, check the box. I'm going to give it a 1 second fade in and a 1 second fade out. You don't have to do anything to save it, you just click out of the box. Now watch what happens when I deselect it. It actually fades out. So here's where I'm going to show you that visualizer so we can get an idea of what this really looks like. You click over here. It's basically an eye with 3D in the middle. It brings up the visualizer. And of course I can increase it. And you'll see here these little areas, these are my fixtures. So watch what happens when I actually hit this button. They faded in. When I click it again, they fade out. So I'm going to teach you a little bit more in the next video. I don't want to overload this one. Feel free to contact me with any questions or concerns. I can kind of guide you in the right way. Just give me a little bit of time to respond to your email, but I'm definitely here to help. This is a wonderful software, guys. I look forward to guiding you in the right direction. I'll talk to you soon. Have a good day, guys. Bye.